Hello and welcome to the Hatewatch podcast. Steph and Tom here as we look forward to the semi-finals of the World Cup. On today's pod, we'll be going over all the quarter-final hate watching, Norway's issues with Spider-Cam, the questionable reporting techniques from one of our own, and FIFA's plan to potentially make the World Cup a 64-team tournament. And I'm sure there'll be plenty more besides, as there's a big couple of days coming up. How are you processing it all, Tom? How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a long weekend. I think is the best way to describe it. I was inundated with other plans to go alongside England's quarter-final game against Norway on Saturday night. But as we sit here, it's halfway through Tuesday. I can't quite say I've recovered yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, which is perfect considering we are 36 hours away from doing it all over again. So it's gonna be it's cool. It's gonna be a great rest of the week. How have you been processing everything that's happened since Saturday?
Uh, Fine, I
No?
think.
Yeah.
I think we all got what we wanted.
Yeah.
Um, Switzerland teased us into thinking they could um, be there on Saturday night. Saturday night? It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not okay. I don't know what day it is.
That's yeah.
Um, that's been a theme throughout the tournament, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
knowing what day it is.
No, that's understandable.
Um, so yeah, apart from the basics like that, yeah, I've been absolutely fine.
No.
Uh, we we winning a World Cup quarter final is a rare thing, and I've
Mhm.
now seen two of them. So
Yeah, yeah, two of the four that we've had in the entire history of our country, which is a wonderful thing. I think we're sort of in the middle part of the generations who have seen things through watching England football, especially England men's football. Obviously, the older generation of us saw even worse than what we saw during our childhood in terms of not even qualifying for these tournaments on occasion, and well, for quite a long time, considering the years that followed 1966. But then you look at the other end of the spectrum for those who were born maybe 6 or 7 or 8, 9, even 10 years after us, and they've just assumed this is normal now. This happens nearly every tournament. We make it to the last eight and
yeah,
eventually the last four.
well,
So
but
they,
but for a
oh,
couple penalty shootouts, it would have been normal
oh
for
yeah, yeah,
us.
of course, yeah,
Uh, but I think the people who came before then, I think the generation immediately before us probably had it worse.
oh yeah, yeah.
When we weren't even qualifying for tournaments,
Hmm.
or going out in the group stages as sort of a regular thing.
Mm.
Um, but now we can all join in and enjoy this. It's terrible, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Between the kick-off whistle and the whistle for full time, it is the most stressful experience you could ask for. But everything around it,
And also just the interim period between the games.
oh
I'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
like,
Even though there's only
I've got, oh, but we're gonna batter Argentina. It's like, oh no, Messi's gonna destroy us. No, we're gonna batter them. No, no,
yeah, yeah.
no.
It's never a peaceful middle ground for the 3 days. It's only 3 days between the two games, but it's still enough time to go through that roller coaster at least 100 times a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
at least 100 times.
Mm.
Yes. It's been it's not even been that enjoyable to like watch the other teams now,
No,
I would
no. I
argue.
mean, of the games that have happened between the last time we recorded and today, I think we've only had one non-England game where at least there was a bit of a roller coaster of hope, but got diminished quite quickly near the end of the game, which I think we will have to dive into as well as everything else. But yeah, the other games have been. I don't want to say disappointing because that's sort of what you expect from quarterfinals in World Cups, that teams are just going to do everything they can to win. That sometimes means moving away from being a bit flamboyant and being a bit exciting and actually just trying to lock down at the back and
Yeah, I mean
scoring.
the games haven't been that bad, but they've all ended up going the way of the favourite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
FIFA's splitting of us, France, Spain, and Argentina has worked out exactly as they maybe not would have planned, but how it has worked out in the sense that splitting them up, they wanted them
it's
to get as far
it's
as
not been an easy ride.
no.
I guess only for Argentina, really.
Yeah.
I mean, our games have been stressful, but we've not we were only behind to DR Congo for a bit, and then very briefly on Saturday. But
Hmm.
that would have, you know, That's probably the closest, you know, quarter-final matchup, I would say.
Yeah, I was
I was
Spain and
very
Belgium.
surprised to hear. I don't know if you heard this, but John Champion said that France-Morocco was the closest matchup of the four. When he did the ITV game, I was like, that's not right, mate.
Yeah, that's
No.
Morocco didn't have a shot until the final minutes of the game. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
definitely
Well, no,
not.
he was just saying as a matchup, like pre-match
Oh
kind of
right,
thing.
yeah. But I think there were a lot of people who were touting that as the tie of the round, which sadly the Morocco just did not turn up at all, which was
Without their star striker.
yeah,
Um,
of course, but still they are the de facto champions of Africa, so you would have hoped that they would have taken it to France, at least maybe not less than what Paraguay gave them anyway. France were made it look easy compared to what Paraguay gave them. Obviously, we talked about how that game played out last time, but yeah, that was very I mean, Morocco just looked knackered. I mean, from their efforts in a
they
previous
offered
round,
absolutely nothing.
yeah, just
Absolutely nothing. I mean, it was ridiculously hot.
yes, yeah, that was a theme in the quarterfinals that for some reason FIFA had picked still quite a few stadiums where
I don't know
these
why all these games aren't at night.
yeah,
In
yeah.
my head, these games are always at night.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's part of their scheduling thinking in terms of how they're planning it out for the nations that would have made it that far. So you can't plan that far ahead for
My
quarterfinal
my
football.
head's just like screw them. Like, you know, the point is you know, why would you benefit people watching over the people who are watching at the stadium or
Mm.
the players themselves?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really understand that.
yeah. Then or at the very least play the games at the SoFi or Atlanta or at the MetLife or just anywhere where they have the conditions to deal with the heat. Rather than in Miami in the open air or where the France game was played as well, it was
God forbid they just organise this in advance and think about these things.
yeah. No, there's not been any problems with that at all whatsoever.
No. Um, so we last spoke post Mexico England, and which meant that we hadn't yet seen um, stuff like the Argentina Egypt game, which as my dark horse, my one and only dark horse, um,
Anyone else?
yeah, they gave a really good account of themselves and really ought to have won that game.
Yeah. It was a really really strange affair. I mean, it was an annoying time of day for me where on a Tuesday I have to be here, there, and everywhere. So I missed quite a bit of basically most of the first sort of 60 minutes. So I think the last thing I did see before everything sort of changed in the game was Egypt make it 2-0, but I missed their disallowed goal and everything else. But I did see Messi's penalty miss early doors. That was before I had to get moving. But yeah, it was an interesting quarter final. And of course, there's been so much fallout from everyone's favourite conspiracy theorists online when it comes to Argentina playing in major tournaments and how people view Messi in these scenarios and think of other things. Whereas I think it boils down. I mean, we'll go through all the incidents in a second, but I think all it boils down to, in my opinion, is you're 2-0 up in a quarter final of the World Cup with 11 minutes to play. You should not be losing it 3-2 if you want to be good enough to play in the semi final, no matter
I'm, I'm,
how unfair you feel some decisions have been
I'm,
against
I'm,
you.
I'm glad you have the same thinking because as harsh as their disallowed goal, which was at 1-0 by the way,
Yeah.
as harsh as that was, they defended absolutely horrifically once Argentina got themselves on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like they lost the defenders.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
where they were. I
I mean,
don't
yeah,
know
especially
what they were
yeah,
doing.
especially for the third goal when it was 2-2 and you've just conceded two goals in 5 minutes. Why on earth are you still throwing eight of your outfielders forward to try and win the game
It's
in
like
normal time?
it's like it was like 1-on-1 in the box for
Mm.
that Fernandez goal. Like
Yeah,
well, there might have been like two defenders back.
yeah.
It's
One
like,
tracking
what are you
guy crossed
doing?
it, and then yeah, and one tracking Enzo. It was it was suicidal football. And if you're going to play like that, I mean, Argentina have had to ride their luck a bit during this tournament, but they still have the star quality, and they get if you give them that sort of space to show that off, they're going to do it, and that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, absolutely ridiculous sort of defending and set up from a manager who had clearly lost his head from everything he said afterwards. So it was just insane way to conduct a football match.
I do like a head loss like that though. It's quite funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's quite embarrassing to do it at a World Cup and go, well done, win the World Cup.
Yeah, it's all rigged. Everything's rigged. Yeah, no, well done. Actually, just no, it wasn't your fault at all. No, everything's against you. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, in some ways they got what they deserved, but it is a shame that they threw that away because it's a great opportunity for them to make the quarters.
Oh yeah, yeah, especially against an Argentinian side who also nearly threw it away against Cape Verde as well. So it would have been nice to have a story where the champions are knocked out by a nation who you're not expecting to beat them at all. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was what it was in the end. I mean, we could talk about the disallowed goal where the foul happened however long before it happened. But I saw loads of people say, oh, this happened so long before the goal, where in reality it was only 14, 15 seconds before the goal, which is not as much of a big issue. And the foul was a foul as well. I think enough people were saying it wasn't. But
While I think that is true, it was a foul, but the referee should have seen that. There was nothing else to look at. He should have been seeing that. And then B, like, if that's why are we disallowing goals for that? Like that for me, that foul was not a direct. The goal wasn't a direct consequence of that challenge.
yeah, I suppose the argument to that is the goal doesn't happen without the foul.
Yeah, but nothing happens with that.
Yeah,
as soon as something
but there is
happens,
a
whatever
direct
comes after it is because of.
Of course, but I think if it's the same move, that nothing else happened between the foul and the goal.
It's not though, is it? They went all the way up the pitch and had an attack.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, but the attack started from the foul. Like you can't award that. In my opinion.
I don't care.
Oh, well, you should. I think because those are the rules.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think ridiculous is a bit. You have a point. You do because of course of the time that it has taken, but. Again, I think
But we'll put it this way: if they went up and won a corner, you wouldn't pull that back, would you?
No, because
I know that's not the rules.
You don't win. You don't win.
But it's like I think that's the same principle. Like,
I think when the final causation is a goal, the thing you need to win football games, then yes,
it's not like on Saturday when Haaland pushes over Anderson at the corner where. That's directly impacting our ability to.
Well, there were people arguing that it didn't because quote unquote Haaland didn't have anything to do with the goal. I know that's it.
No, he then had a free challenge for the ball.
No, I know it's an argument I don't agree with, but people are making a similar sort of arguments. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter in the end for the Egypt team anyway, because as you said before,
they
scored anyway afterwards.
They did score again and still imploded.
Yeah, I mean there was also the arguments for they should have had a penalty before one of Argentina's goals was annoying. I can't remember which one of the three it was, but seeing the replay later on in the evening when I hadn't seen it properly back, it's like that's what everyone's complaining about. It was
kind of soft.
Yeah,
it would have been soft. Maybe you can argue like. That's a foul and therefore a penalty, but I feel like he was looking for it big time.
Yeah, considering the penalties we've seen not given in this tournament, for them to have then pulled it back and given that would have been a bit...
But also, how can you just like concede 10 seconds later because you've got no one defending your goal?
Exactly, as we've said already. Yeah, it was just suicidal from the Egyptian team. And
to be that gung-ho at that point in the game... Like, not even take his extra time where you can regroup and... Because Argentina have got their tails up at that point. They've scored 2 goals in double quick time. Also, the first goal, keeper's got to save it, man.
Yeah. That's the other thing as well. When you've been defending so resolutely and the goalkeeper had a good game up to that point.
Yeah.
So that's to be the way...
Yeah, he made a great save in the first half, didn't he?
He did, yeah. So for that to be the way they...
That wasn't a penalty either.
Yeah. No, big shame. I mean, it was very Japan v Belgium 2018.
Yeah.
Obviously not quite to the extreme of that, where the very, very last action of the game, Japan was still going for it for whatever reason, but very much of those ilks. So, yeah, it has meant that obviously Argentina have gone on to their quarter final against Switzerland, and now as we talk, we'll be facing England tomorrow in the semi. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see a different story from that. Sadly, we didn't get it.
Yeah, and just as frustrating, I think, was the manner of Spain's win of Belgium,
Yeah,
where their Lord and Savior Mikel Merino came to their rescue again.
yeah, 2 games
Um,
right now. Yeah,
Mikel Merino's just fantastic.
nah, we can't be saying that when we'll be playing them on Sunday, mate. No.
No, no, I won't be.
Yeah, that's good.
But but yeah, it's just super annoying. Where I mean, maybe there's a part of me that does want France to play Spain because of not our half of the draw, and they need to potentially knacker each other out or
That's a good point.
have
Yeah.
a proper test for once.
Hmm.
Um, you know, um, and just be really super tired potentially on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, Belgium, man, they were so awful at the start of the tournament, and they probably played their best game. Um, yeah, they were there. Was it Friday?
Hmm.
Um, they probably played their best game tactically, and uh, obviously really unlucky that Courtois had to go off, and
Hmm.
then Lamens makes that error not that long after coming on.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what's it like? Even um, who was it? Was it Williams that was annoyed when
Oh
when
yeah,
the
yeah.
goal went in?
Williams. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Um, just like, oh man, so frustrating that he didn't get the winner. Right,
Yeah. Yeah. Considering he's
I love
been
a bit of that.
really, really poor all tournament. Yeah. How you still got a bit of a
Also, it's the last minute of a quarter final.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. How have you got
get
that?
excited, man.
Yeah, yeah. Surely, your complex isn't that strong that you're not able to celebrate your nation doing what they're there to do.
He
But
was
yeah,
also nowhere near it. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
No,
was clearly Marino's ball to win.
mm, but yeah,
Um, but I mean, Spain just keep winning.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Which is a shame.
sticking with Belgium on your original point, it would have been really strange to see this team, as you say, from the early doors of the tournament, who were so poor, being the team that stands in France's way to get to the final of this World Cup. Like I know they've turned it round massively thanks to the encouragement from the USA and everything else that they were given for that game. But you, I agree with you in the sense that I'd much rather see a repeat of the 2024 Euros semi-final where France are up against arguably the best defence in this tournament, who are just statistically in terms of the goals they've conceded. But
Yeah,
yeah,
just the one. Yeah.
yeah, the Belgian goal being the only one. Yeah, but yeah, it was a shame that was how that game played out because you do with tournament football you always want to see the best of both teams playing the entire games, and the fact that Lamens had to come on, or Mike Penders as some TV outlets describe him as, which is an insane mistake to
I
make.
think FIFA did that to everybody.
Yeah, yeah, it was their graphic they used, wasn't it,
Yeah.
rather than a commentator getting it wrong. But yeah,
And
considering they look,
I did the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. I was
yeah,
like, wrong.
what are you doing? Yeah. It was a shame, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how those two tee up against each other. I mean, especially as we said with France that they didn't really have to get out of second gear against Morocco to get the job done there. So hopefully Spain can force them to actually
Boring.
play
I
a bit
mean,
more.
we have been bringing the entertainment in this tournament. You have to
Oh yeah,
say.
yeah, especially in the knockout stages, of course.
Knockout stages. Yeah, Congo. Do you want an early goal? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Norway. Do you
We'll
want to
let
go in
you
front
lead
for a
until the
bit?
last
Yeah, go
last
ahead,
15
man.
minutes. Yeah, it'd be great. Mm.
Let's give away a penalty in the
Yeah, yeah.
Azteca. Why
We're,
not?
we're 2-1 up. Let's get a red card. Yeah, wonderful. Just to make them feel better. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet we always win.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, even with the things on everything else that happened on Saturday night, I mean that is the next natural step. Unless you want to talk about Switzerland, Argentina beforehand, just to get that out of the way.
I mean, I don't know why I've seen there's so many people like defending, well, not defending Bale and Bolo, but just like saying that was the wrong decision. Like, I could not see what the issue was. There were some people saying that the process wasn't followed correctly, like the protocol,
Yeah, even though it
whereby
was,
if you do a mistaken identity, can we talk about mistaken identity and
we
what
can.
those two words actually mean? I don't
Mm,
know why FIFA have introduced this rule where you can overturn a decision if there's like deception involved from whoever's been fouled. And for whatever reason, they've called this mistaken identity. That's just not what it means.
So yeah, I think they've umbrella termed it a bit too strongly because it does include the actual term of mistaken identity where the wrong player is cautioned because of another player's actions. That's
But
part of the ruling.
it's not like they're getting people confused though.
No, it's not been used for confusion once this tournament, which I don't think has helped in people trying to understand
it's
it. Yeah,
the
it's all
identity of what the foul was.
and what player was punished because of it. So yeah, whereas
Yeah.
obviously in this
And
incident,
apparently when you use that, you're not supposed to you're not supposed to overturn it and punish the player that has committed the actual foul.
mm,
So by that logic, Braylon Bollo would have conceded the free kick, but he would like not have been allowed to have been booked for
right.
what he did. I don't know why that's a
Yeah.
rule. I don't see why he shouldn't be booked for simulation. And referees' attitudes to simulation seems to be just whatever mood they're in for some reason.
Oh yeah,
I,
even in
I
this
was
tournament.
brought up to think that any dive is an automatic yellow if the ref
Mm,
gives a dive, and like even like in the Congo game when Harry Kane doesn't get the penalty, I'm pretty sure the referee indicates that he thinks it's a dive, and he doesn't give Kane anything at all.
which doesn't even give Congo a free kick. Does he just says that's a dive, but play
Oh
on.
no, they just overturn. They just like yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
exact example I was going to use. Yeah, there's been a lot of that in this tournament
and
still.
I've seen it. I've seen it. There was a game not last season, season before. I think it was Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal Ipswich. I was at,
Mm,
and Amari Hutchinson like dived twice in about 2 minutes. Not one booking.
mm.
It was they were both given as like dives,
All right, yeah, good,
but
yeah.
it's like are we not we just not doing it anymore?
Yeah,
So
considering we had a period where it was just immediate yellow card, no matter how soft the dive
that's
was.
just
Yeah,
like standard rule.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
um, so I don't know what the directive is with that anymore.
Mm,
But they have enforced that fully here with um this Embolo incident, and
hmm.
I can't argue against it. Like
No,
it's
yeah,
pretty clear what he does. I don't know why he's doing it.
yeah.
It's not. It's
It was
middle of the pitch.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
and I know
he's already on a yellow.
yeah.
So daft.
I will. It's a very tiny bit of sympathy towards him in the sense that this is the first time they've had to play football with that thinking in mind that I'm on a yellow card, that there's a chance VAR is going to overturn something and give me a second yellow. But you should have that inkling in your mind once you're on a yellow. Don't do anything silly at all because obviously there's a world where the referee would have seen that as a dive in normal time and then potentially given him a yellow. So yeah, that thinking.
Well, that's my thinking of it.
Yeah,
I don't think the VAR aspect is a sort of an added pressure on the
no,
player not to
no.
do something silly like that.
Yeah, no, in fairness, yeah, you have talked me out of my own point there, which is fair enough because it is, you are
Well,
right.
you justified it yourself
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no,
Like,
as I
he
was
could have
saying.
given it straight away.
Yeah, but I think it has been interesting because there's been a lot of people who have been analysing this. People I quite like as well, like Kevin Hatchard, who covers Sky Sports Germany, has hated the fact that VAR got involved here, and it's like I understand you don't. There's the thinking of a lot of football fans and journalists have they hate the amount of intervention VAR has these days, but I think I didn't hate it in the sense that there's
Well,
some
it's cheating.
yeah, exactly,
It's
it's punishment
cheating. Like,
cheating, yeah,
why would you not use it for that?
exactly,
In
yeah.
the grand scheme of the game, it's like a minor thing.
Mm,
Like, it's not, it's not leading to a goal or something like that.
hmm.
But it's blatant cheating, and
Yeah,
and the big criticism with VAR always has been the amount of time taken to come to decisions, and that seemed pretty swift. I mean, I was really drunk and
yeah.
watched it
Well,
on
it was
close to mute.
it's pretty much
So,
the last thing I remember before falling asleep. Yeah,
but it seemed pretty smooth from a process point of view,
mm,
and they came to the right decision.
I did. Yeah, I think the only criticism I will have of it is none of this happens if the referee doesn't book the Argentinian in the first place, because then VAR wouldn't have been allowed to intervene. Like, you can't just overturn a foul through VAR. It has to be because that
Mm.
player's been booked. So it's the referee there seeing, I don't know what he's seeing to think that it should be a yellow card for the Argentinian player in the
Well,
first
that's
place.
the thing because he doesn't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Paredes doesn't like extend towards Mbolo like to take him down or anything.
No, yeah, and Bolo very, very clearly dives.
It's
There's
his
nothing
leg
much
that comes
yeah,
out.
there's nothing
Mbolo's
much for
leg.
him to evade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's that's where the criticism should lie with the referee who has set these sort of things in motion that FIFA have set up with VAR by booking the Argentinian player in the first place incorrectly. So it's sort of correcting a really bad error from the referee on the pitch, which is
Yeah,
silly enough in the first
yeah,
place. But again, as we said at the top of this point, Bolo brings it on himself just as much by doing the thing. So
yeah.
it's
I was
yeah,
really surprised by like the Swiss team's like reaction. I feel like they were half inspired by Egypt in
mm,
that the red card comes out and Xhaka's doing no,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is all a fix kind of thing.
Even though
Like
he
it's
has the
so
view, yeah.
obvious, like the right call.
Yeah, the view from where he's standing as well, he probably can see the screen from where he is. So it's like very obvious that your teammate has dived there and he's on a yellow card, and these are the rules. Again, I don't know how many of the players have those rules completely cemented in their minds. For
Yeah,
some reason, I think a lot of players do forget these
it
things.
might have felt like some sort of like a targeted kind of witch hunt. Like, oh, we can
Yeah.
send a player off here.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it could have looked weird from their point of view at the
hmm
time.
Obviously,
Maybe.
emotions are running high in a quarter final at that
And
point
they
as
were
well.
playing really well at that point as well.
Yeah, yeah, they were in the
Really
ascendancy,
well.
weren't they?
I
Yeah. So,
said, I said, maybe 20 seconds before
oh
they
yeah,
scored, like,
you did.
they're scoring.
You
They're
really,
scoring.
really did.
And
Yeah, I
I
was.
meant just in general, like before the end of the
Mhm.
game. And
Yeah.
they went up and scored.
I was very much drifting in and out of starting to fall asleep, and I remember you very clearly saying they're going to score here. They're definitely scoring. This game's not over. I was like, no, please, please. As much as I'd love for Switzerland to win this game, I need sleep so badly. And then yeah, they went Dan and Doyle went and scored 20 seconds after that. So yeah, it was a shame, 'cause it did stop a very interesting game, and another one where. I mean, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if we had to play Switzerland again. Obviously, they made it very difficult for us in 2024 in terms of how we approached it, and it would have been another game
Yeah,
where, in Tuchel's own words, this isn't the sort of team he's been brought in to beat. Whereas Argentina
yeah,
are very much more
it
that
would have
case.
been horrible. I can
Yeah.
totally see us going behind in that
Oh
game.
yeah, yeah. Another team where they have some enough good defenders and other
Like
defensive minded
they'll have our
players.
number,
Yeah, they'll know how to set up
kind
and
of.
play the low
Yeah.
block that we don't want to play against. Yeah, so that's
Whereas,
one thing that removes, which is quite nice.
um, but they're out,
Hmm
and good riddance to them. Cheats, and now
Yeah,
we get to play Argentina,
we
who have
do.
not famously cheated ever.
No, no, there's not any sort of theories that they're the tournament's being handed to them. No, not at all.
Um, ah, it's weird because before the quarterfinal, I said I would be less nervous if we were playing Argentina tonight than
hmm
Norway,
You
and
did,
here
yeah.
we are, just about to play Argentina. I don't
Well,
even like football anymore.
see, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Ah,
Yeah,
I don't
mm,
want to play this game at all.
yeah, there you go,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be an absolute mess.
No, really, really. Well, I mean, that's a good place to start to relive everything that happened on Saturday night. Where I believe that's a probably good way to describe how you were for a lot of the game, but
I
for good
mean,
reason, I believe, for most of it.
we started well,
Hmm
um, and then they just scored the flukiest goal we've ever seen.
it did come just after they'd had a very good chance through Haaland as well, the header too. But yeah, it wasn't like it
Yeah,
came from nowhere. It was
that was
coming.
just after that, wasn't it? It was
It was,
that
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
it was
immediate
literally that
passage of
move.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to describe those sort of 5-10 minutes of that first half where they did just find gaps in behind us at least two or three times, and then for us to sort of deal with their really good chances to then just concede the flukiest cross you could ever think, and Sheldrup, who put it in, as a lot of footballers do, celebrated it like he meant it, whereas all you needed was one replay to see, oh, he's aiming for Haaland there. Haaland's the one
yeah.
running it in the middle. It's all,
It wouldn't be an England quarter final without a goal that the player didn't mean.
No, oh, of course, yeah. It's sort of rite of passage at this point, isn't it? But yeah, it
Well, it's
was.
happened twice from
Yeah,
memory.
well,
I don't know.
as we know, there's plenty of quarterfinals, not that many quarterfinals to choose from an England pool in terms of
Yeah.
ones we go on to win anyway.
And then Alexander Soroth just decides to ball hog his way into the penalty area with Haaland free
Mm.
and spares us going 2-0 down essentially,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
great fun.
I've seen a few people try and sort of suggest that this is all John Stones stopping him in terms of
Yeah,
the pass is
I
never
saw that
on.
as
But
well.
there's at least, I think, after his first touch,
Uh,
Sorloth, that is, after his first touch, there's two opportunities where he should just set Haaland
yeah,
away.
there's
Either he
definitely
plays it in front of Stones or tries to pass it round the back of him. The pass is on, but I know Stones does very well from everything after that, where he jockeys perfectly after that, and the pass is gone. But there's a lot more on Sorloth not taking it as soon as he receives the ball, rather than just carrying on, and then
yeah.
slowing right down.
There's a thing online where people want to show that, oh, you don't know anything about football, clearly, like
Mm,
the pass is, yes, the pass is on, of
mm,
course it's on.
yeah,
um I think a lot of people like to sort of just forget hindsight completely and
yeah,
just go, no, actually, if you watch it closely, saw lots on the right, like, just like, um how do I phrase this, just like take the unpopular opinion by default
mm,
and forge some sort of daft theory behind that.
yeah.
And um, the idea that Saul shouldn't have passed that ball is nonsense.
Yeah.
Not least because Haaland was through, and it's Haaland. You
Hmm.
know, if Haaland could have played Sorloth through, probably would have played Sorloth in.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it could have been him trying to finish the shot.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have left it that long
No,
for Riley
and
to get back involved and stuff like that.
yeah, and I'd back him to have the footwork to outwit John Stones much better than Sorloth was able to too. I think there'll be the
Yeah,
fear will be
I think Stones would have probably been more drawn to him
yeah, and
if it was
Haaland
him, and
showing.
he's thinking, well, worst case scenario, Sorloth takes a shot,
Hmm.
and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And obviously, by the time he did take a shot, our defenders had come back.
Yeah, we had two covering defenders by the time he finally fires it away, and yeah, we get the block in, and Pickford gathers right nicely. But yeah, it was a nice. That was where we sort of had to breathe and reevaluate, and we got to see Anthony Gordon sort of return back to how he'd been playing for the whole of the Mexico game, and after he came off the bench against Congo by just beating his fullback again, cutting back onto his foot and firing a perfectly weighted pass into
Yes.
the.
Well, just before that, of course, was probably one of the most annoying passages of play leading to just like stuff online that
Ah,
I just have no time for,
of course.
which is, did the ball hit the wire of the spider cam?
It's insane that we didn't write down many points for what we wanted to discuss today, and I've completely bypassed one of the main ones to try and talk about our goal.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it.
No,
It's
no, yeah, but
stupid.
the
I
noise was so
can't be
much.
bothered with
Mm.
this.
Yeah,
Like,
it's been
people
so.
just want to believe what they want to believe,
Mm,
and the evidence shows that the ball doesn't hit anything, and people have even used the evidence as evidence against that point,
yeah,
like
yeah.
online, just like
Like they've zoomed in
it.
on something that doesn't make it any clearer whether something happened or not. I mean, you can talk
It's
about the spin of the ball and how
it's
it
like the
dropped and
people who
everything, but
think Arsenal punch goalkeepers at corners. It's like,
oh,
here's the evidence. Like, well, it's clear evidence of it not happening, mate. It's the
uh,
same thing. These people.
that's we're gonna go down
That's
a
not
rabbit
something you're
hole.
going to agree with, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying not to go down that hole. Yeah, golf, World Cup, please.
no, but
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like, people want to believe what they want to believe, regardless of what the evidence in front of their eyes is telling them, and that's what was
yeah.
happening here.
I mean,
Don't get me wrong. The way the ball comes down does look odd,
it does. Yeah,
but it doesn't hit anything.
no, and
So,
Anderson's tracking it before the drop even happens. He doesn't change his stride at any point. He sort of preempts where that ball's going to go before
yeah.
the weird drop even happens.
And
So
also, that doesn't that doesn't like make the goal.
No, yeah, as I mentioned,
Um,
Gordon, yeah, he has to
like
beat
if
a player, I think.
we've talked about time before the goal happens, uh, with the Argentina one. But I
I
mean,
mean,
once the ref doesn't give it, I mean, what are we going to do? To give him a goal kick back?
wow,
No.
I mean, FIFA used their one and only thing that could have suggested that it hit anything, which we have seen in this tournament where it's used with the oh, what's it called? The cricket thing they put in the ball,
Snicko.
sneaker. Yeah, yeah. So then they showed there was no evidence of it hitting anything, even if the minor wire thing would have made any difference. But we've had one where it's clipped a hair in for an offside in one of the games this tournament already. So if
Yeah.
it does hit a wire, it's going to show up. I mean, this all stems from, I think it was Fox's coverage itself, where they were the first people to sort of say, "Oh, there's evidence to suggest that it's hit the spider cam here," and then all the other media outlets sort of followed on from that. But as we've,
That's the other thing. Like, I don't know where it actually came from. Like this sort of like as an issue, and why everyone's sort of gone behind it. Because if it didn't happen, why has it sort of dominated debate?
yeah. Again, whether it stems from this sort of the online theory of conspiracy in football, sort of bleeding into mainstream media a bit too much, maybe it's a little bit of that. But as you say, I don't remember it in normal time thinking, "Oh, something's happened there." I just remember saying quite out loud, "Oh, what unbelievable touch from Anderson," because he has just brought down a goal kick for
I mean, that's regardless of whether they're here or not.
exactly, yeah, yeah, from a height either way. But yeah, I don't know why this was such a big thing, even with all the videos we've had with you can circle what you like and zoom in where you like. Didn't see anything more than what I could see from the normal version at normal speed. So yeah, for me, it was such a non-issue that the people have tried to run away with. And again, it's another one where it didn't matter anyway. So why are we making such a big thing out of
Yeah,
it?
I think there's a lot of people are thinking, oh, that they're trying to set up the big nations to win these games, and it's like FIFA can organize a fix all they want. The opposing goalkeeper kicking the ball into a thin wire is not in their control.
No, no. Even if they
And
wanted it,
even then,
yeah,
to make that wire deflect to an England player,
yeah,
and for
yeah.
them to control it perfectly, and then to immediately go up the other end and score,
Yeah, yeah, and
like
two of the
that's
Norwegian players to be in on that as well, to let Gordon beat him, and then to let Bellingham get it ghosting behind. Yeah, no, it's just
the ball.
ridiculous.
The ball to Bellingham is delicious,
Oh yeah,
and then the
it's
touch.
just yeah takes it inside. There's three players with him, and he still does everything he needs to do, everything right. It's not even as in the corner as it needs to be either, because Neeland maybe in another day stretches his foot out, but it's Neeland, as we will talk about when we talk about the second goal. There's plenty of reason to suggest you don't need to hit it perfectly to beat him from that angle, because he didn't, and it went in. And yeah, it's another England game where we've been not quite dug out by one of our best players, because we weren't being absolutely pummeled by Norway, but they were in the ascendancy at that point.
Yeah, I
But
mean, Norway aren't going to let us play because we
no,
beat them,
yeah,
and we had a lot of possession, just not loads in the final third. And when we got to the final third, Noni Madueke would rather kick it out of play for no reason.
well, yeah. I mean, even there are instances where he wasn't even in the final third, and he still couldn't get the ball under control quickly enough to
I
take
mean,
the man on.
some of his crosses were when nobody was in the box anyway, which is a separate
Yeah,
issue.
yes, of course.
Um, but I
No,
mean,
considering I said pre-match that David Muller-Wolf who was the left back for Norway, was the person we needed to target, and seeing Madueke was named on the starting 11, I think Tuchel's thinking was exactly there the same, because Noni Madueke on paper is the person you want, the person who's going to skill and take players on, and
it's
on
like
his
he has
day,
to be in the mood.
yeah, on his day he
I
can do
don't
that.
know why.
But
Like
there's
you can clearly do this, Nonny man.
yeah,
Like
especially in
I've
a
seen it with my own
yeah,
eyes.
yeah, we both have as fans of teams who he's played for. But for him to not be able to find what he needs to find in his mind in a World Cup quarter final where Saka's getting fitter by the game, where if you don't do something now, then Saka is just going to automatically start the semi final ahead of you. And
Or it's like he needs Saka to play as many minutes as possible. I need to play shit, so I come off at half time. See, he's playing 4D chess.
yeah, is
Nonny
that what it is?
Madueke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why they're doing that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but he's he's capable of doing the hard bit, which
Mm,
is annoying, like getting past the player.
that's it. Yeah, normally
He's
that's
not
the
as
thing.
good as the delivery bit, but
Hmm.
because he can go past players with ease, in theory, he
Mm.
could like have all the time in the world to pick a cross out
Yeah,
once he
yeah,
gets past the
especially
player.
when you're up
And
against.
Saka proved how easy it
Oh yeah,
actually
yeah.
was.
Saka got in behind like 4 times during the time he was on the pitch, and considering Madueke was up against not just a Wolves player, but a Wolves centre back, no left, who was playing left back. That should have been bread and butter for him for the hard bits that he's good at, as you say. And it just every touch was a little too heavy, or it went a little behind him, and just couldn't get attacks going through that side, which was exactly where we needed to do it. Because even though Rierson on the right hand side was a little bit unfit and had to come off a bit later, he was still locking Gordon down quite well, apart from the first goal that we scored. So that was always going to be the tougher side for us to break through. Whereas on the left of Norway's left, that should have been the way through, and Madueke just couldn't do it, which meant, of course, we got Saka on at half time. And although the second half of the game was much less full of incidents for an England attacking point of view, we still that was still the way we were getting through Saka, especially late on. So
Yeah, we did have
it
some
was a nice
chances
little.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's. I mean, something else happened up the other end with Norway, which again we got the right decision in the end. Luckily,
don't need to discuss it.
no, no matter
It's a
how much.
foul. It was
I don't know if
given
you've
as a
seen the clip
foul.
of Haaland and Stones talking about it afterwards, where Haaland very clearly said he's a £50 billion player, which is so funny to suggest that obviously they're going to be teammates next season. But I mean, as soft as people want to argue that it might have been, you can't put two hands on an opposition player's
It's a
chest.
foul.
Yeah.
It's so clearly a foul. Like when things get checked, I'm usually worried that this is the one time it's going to go against my team and
Mm,
that kind of thing, and they're not
yeah.
going to check it or whatever. I wasn't worried about that. As
No,
soon as I saw the replay, I was like, well, they can't allow that.
I
They can't
see.
look at that and allow it.
I was even before that where Anderson went down. I thought the referee was immediately going to give a foul because I've seen that immediately. So I'm not even thinking about the passage of play afterwards. Even when they scored, I was still a bit annoyed because then the referee didn't blow his whistle. Then obviously when things happen in the box from corners, referees will. They are meant to allow the play to carry on in case it does lead to a goal and it's not a foul on the replay. But for me, it was a case of that's going to be a foul. So I wasn't worried at the time of it happening, and of course, one
Mm.
look at it from the referee and they overturned it, and rightfully so. So, yeah, again, it's.
Well, from that overturn to the overturn in extra time, which I still can't believe it.
Oh wow, really? Oh, yeah, I know at the time you were on, whereas I was very much on the. Oh,
I,
they're not going
I'm
to give that. They can't allow that.
uh, the more I see it, the more I think it's a penalty.
Wow, yeah, that's completely on the opposite end. So I
What
need to,
that
I
that
need
was
to hear
such
you.
a that was such a loaded wow. Like
I think it's
you're a
because I
dickhead.
disagree. I disagree so wholeheartedly with you. I think it's why where that question's come from. Apologies a little bit if I seemed.
Don't get me wrong. Like if that was against my team, I'm like that's bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
but
Well, okay. What's your explanation into why you think that should be a
well,
stronger penalty?
I just don't see what he does wrong. Spence.
Mm.
He gets in front of him and
Hmm.
he's about to pull the trigger,
But okay,
and
then
Bob stopped him.
to me, the thing he's doing with his right leg isn't trying to shoot the ball. It's to try and
No,
protect
but
the
it's
ball.
like
Need to protect that ball.
if you knock me out. So are we saying it's a dive then?
No, no, I'm saying it's
Well,
no. I'm saying Spence is trying to deceive the referee in the sense that
who
he is making
did
sure our
Bob
hands,
knock Spence down?
not through his actions though, in my opinion, through Spence dangling a leg and basically shoving it in between Bob's legs to make sure there
Well,
is contact
he
there.
should lay off then,
Well,
which is a daft thing to do in the penalty
yeah,
area.
yeah, he's not going to do that, which is why Spence knows he can try and dangle a leg and get a penalty here, which he shouldn't really need to do.
If it was a dive and you like waited for the contact and dived, fair enough. That's not foul.
Yeah,
I don't think it was that.
yeah,
I
no,
think it
neither
was.
do I either. It's
I think it was. I'm going to come across you here. If you get in my way, it's going to be a penalty. Otherwise, I'm getting a shot away
yeah,
because he's not getting the ball. Bob's nowhere near the ball.
no,
Spencer's done his job in terms of shielding the ball, and so I don't see. I mean, if the referee didn't give it, I'll be like, okay, subjective call, fair enough. But to overturn it is just with the replays and not
Yeah.
giving it. Why are we overturning it?
So
It
I think
easily could have been.
it's
I
come
feel
from
like with these, VAR just want to overturn stuff, no matter what the original call was. I feel like VAR just like, yes, we can overturn this, let's overturn it,
I
rather
think
than
we are.
sticking with the call.
It's come from the fact that this is one of FIFA's new rulings for the World Cup that have come in. I mean, we've seen it with Mbappe against Senegal, and we saw it with Kane against Congo as well. It's where players, the attackers, in their opinion, are trying to deceive the referee in terms of they don't have to do what they're doing with their legs if they want to just
Don't
keep the ball and
don't
carry
get
on.
me wrong. I'm glad they're doing this because players absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that Mbappe one was absolutely not an example of that. Like, just it just wasn't.
Mm.
Um, it wasn't like Bob had dangled the leg out and then Spencer's like gone into his leg.
Mm.
That would have been ridiculous. That wouldn't have been a penalty. But Bob is the reason that he's gone down.
Well, yeah, because he's just there though. If he has to do an action in the referee's
But
mind.
it's like if you're a defender and the attacker's in behind you and there's a tangle of legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Like you're not as a defender, you're supposed to get out of the way if you don't want to commit the foul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and as a defender myself, it's really, really annoying getting done like that
Oh, it is.
because
Yeah.
you are powerless,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not just going to leave them alone. But
No.
that's the trap that attackers are able to like deploy,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and
I can agree with that.
that's what I think this was.
Yeah, I think the only other little bit for me is the fact that if there was other contact from Bob on Spence, like if he'd sort of put an arm on him or something else as well, or it's at least caught the other leg, then yeah, there's a bit more of a case. But I think because it's entirely on that right leg that Spence has made sure he's shoved in front of Bob just to win the foul rather than shielding the ball, which didn't need to be shielded at that point. He had beaten him and they just needed to take the shot away, which he could have done without doing the leg movement that he did, which I think is what they're looking at. And I mean, there's always going to be this debate because it's such a new sort of bylaw that FIFA have put in that it is another example of them sort of taking away attacking incidents, which I can understand is very frustrating. And the
I,
argument of Spence being smart to win the foul there is a good
if
argument.
it's not allowed, then it just shouldn't be allowed. Like
Yeah, which is exactly why they've overturned it because they've seen the movement from Spence to try and win it rather than just
I've
carrying
never
on.
liked this idea that VAR are like anti goals,
Mm.
because it's just a thing one way or the other. Like, and you can only overturn it if a goal has happened. You can't make a goal from a non-incident.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
obviously they're going to be taking away goals rather than adding goals because it
yeah,
has
no,
to
no.
go in
I
first.
think the point sort of has the umbrella of the corner rule this tournament as well, where they can take corners away but not award them because of them wrongly being given, which I think is a nonsense in my
Well, of
opinion.
course, it's a nonsense. We've said it before. They're doing the exact same thing to check
Hmm. Yeah,
whether
yeah,
it's one way or the other. They
yeah.
can clearly check it the other way.
Mhm. So yeah, that's just an
So,
example of them taking away an attacking opportunity rather than whereas they can reward back to the
but
defense.
yeah, I think because of the fear that it leads to a goal.
Yeah,
Whereas if you give a goal kick in the first place, then there's no goal to deal with. So
yeah, sort of get it, but yeah, no.
I
Anyway,
get it, but it's stupid.
at the end of the day, I really enjoyed as well when the referee pointed to the spot for our sort of experience of this was how hard people celebrated it with that we were with. Like I think
I
you
celebrated
and
that harder than the goal.
yeah, I
I
know, yeah.
think because
Whereas
I was worried.
I was behind you, sort of like, yay, great, we've got a penalty, but we have to score it still and everything else. So it was. That's been something as I've grown up with football, I've always been a bit more sort of relaxed on, even if it is a World Cup quarter final late in the game where obviously if we go 3-1 up, great, but there's so many more incidents, actions that need to happen before we get a goal out of that I
Yeah,
will try and
but
resolve
I
it.
think the reason I celebrated that more than the goal was I was petrified that Bellingham was offside. when that
Okay.
goal went in.
Really? Yeah.
It wasn't even close,
No.
but just in my because he got a free shot on the
Yeah,
rebound. I was like,
we're
oh, how
so
much space was he in? Was he off? I don't know.
so used to attackers not reacting to that
And
sort
I
of thing.
think if it was 1-1 and we got the pen,
Yeah. Hmm.
I would have been a bit more muted. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is massive. But that
Mm.
like to go two in front with the pen,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
going
yeah, it would have been
nuts.
huge. Yeah. But
Um, and that would have been twice in 2 games.
mhm.
Um, um, but we held out rather comfortably again in
Oh
the end.
yeah. It was another. I mean, obviously, it wasn't comfortable against Mexico, but there was never a massive chance that they had. So it's weird watching an England team in these scenarios where we're so used to them just crumbling and throwing it away. For them to be in the attacking third, like quite a lot of the time when we were 2-1 up, especially even in the second half, Saka was getting in behind a couple of times, and hope on another day he hits that shot much better where he beats the defender
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
onto his left foot. And obviously there was the one at 1-1 where we had two chances where he maybe another day lifts it a little higher. So there was plenty of actions where during the game we were just so much better than them going forward. I know there's the thinking that Haaland was carrying a knock, otherwise why on earth would Solback and take him off, especially
Yeah, yeah.
when we were 2-1 up. But whether that was affecting him going forward or not when we hadn't taken the lead, I don't know. But yeah, we spoke about it this bit as well a lot after the Mexico game with the subs that Tuchel was making, like bringing on Rodgers for a central midfielder to try and go for the game again, especially at 1-1 is refreshing to see, and obviously it paid off because that's where the goal came from. I mean, there would have been questions asked when Rice came off. Obviously, we found out
Yeah.
why that happened. We knew he was ill going into it anyway, but we didn't know quite how ill. So the fact we've been able to save him from 45 plus 30 extra minutes of football for the semi-final hopefully will be a massive benefit to him. But that did mean watching Reece James in midfield for sort of 30 minutes of that second half, and
I
we'd lost
think did he
all
give
our
the ball
rhythm.
away straight away?
He did, yeah,
Yeah.
and all the rhythm had just gone from us from that sort of middle of the park, and it carries on the fun conspiracy that he'd rather play anyone in that midfield than Kobe Mainoo at the moment. So it's
But
strange to
I
see.
think that was part of his masterstroke actually, because the players that he brought on, he was able to interchange them later into other
Yeah,
positions based on
100%.
what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
So
and
James
it's
ended up at fullback
mm,
because we've got to extra time. We're going to need goals.
hmm
We're going to need more of a threat. Um,
yeah, especially when they're
Eza started in the middle,
yeah,
but then we needed to push Bellingham back further
yeah.
up.
Bellingham swapped
So we
like
get
three
Eza out on
times.
the
Yeah,
wing, which isn't his
hmm
best position, but he can do that.
yeah, at least do a
So
decent enough job. Yeah, and it
whereas
worked.
if you bring on, uh,
Kobe Mainoo, yeah,
yeah, if you bring on a Kobe Mainoo, you can't really move him from there if you want to,
no, exactly.
and
Yeah,
therefore you
it's
can't
great
add
for him.
dimensions to the attack if you need to go on the attack, and that's obviously important when it
Hmm
comes to tournament football,
Yeah,
and that's why you just need to trust the manager. Maybe
yeah.
he knows what he's doing.
It's a great point, 'cause especially when the opposition are able to throw on their two really good wingers in Noosa and Moscow. As soon as Reece James went to right back, I think Noosa only beat him once out of about 8 attempts where he was able to actually get a cross
Yeah,
in.
I was a bit worried about Bob versus O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I think the first time he got the ball on that wing, I was like, oh god, he's going to beat him eventually.
Yeah.
Um,
And he,
but it worked out, and then Big Dan Burn came out at the end to nod some balls away and
oh,
just
yeah.
just
The fact,
absolutely flattened the
yeah,
Norwegians.
the fact that the final action was of the game was him winning a header. That's like
Yeah,
absolutely crumpling Odegaard and then stepping over him twice after he'd done it. It was wonderful to see and sort of cemented that performance. And I think before we finish off, I need a word for Jed Spence for the other actions he had in the game. I mean, I'd completely forgotten how late in the game it was where he chased Nealon down.
yeah.
In my mind, remembering the game, that was a bit earlier than as it was, but it was basically the last action in normal time, wasn't it? And had that gone in, my word, it would have been absolutely insane for
He'd have been knighted on the spot.
Oh yeah, and it's so nice to see when a manager who picks a player that a lot of people don't rate just continuously proves people wrong. Like I was
Yeah,
watching back loads of like online reactions to the game, and so many like big-ish names in the media are still on the horse of Spence isn't that good. He's not. He's useless. Like why are we still using him? But as you say, with the example of Reece James, we bring him on and we're able to deploy him at right back, deploy him at left back, and he can do just as good a job on both sides. And he had so many good moments where he was coming forward, breaking through. I mean, he had another chance as well where he was able to get a shot away too, where he had beaten two players and got
Yeah.
through. And it's having that sort of person with a bit of pace that can break away. It's just wonderful to have. And I'm intrigued to see what part he plays against Argentina on Wednesday, whether Reece James is fit enough to start, or whether we stick with the same back four, or whether Spence is deployed earlier than we might want to. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see him go up against someone like Tagliafico at fullback, who, in theory, is nowhere near as good as he was 7 or 8 years ago. So that sort of thing is going to be great fun, and
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Just a quick word for Alan Shearer. I want to just put out there on the Spence incident, the penalty incident where he was on the rest is football, and Micah Richards is of the opinion that it's absolutely not a penalty.
Yeah.
As a defender, you might, expect that, and they kind of like tried to play out the roles of each player in the studio they were in, and you can just tell that Alan Shearer is just waiting for Micah Richards to end his argument so he can go, no, this is bullshit, like.
Wonderful attempt there, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
He said something like, yeah, I heard you guys talking a lot of shit last night.
Yeah,
He was so angry about it, but I also think he's right.
Well, of course you do, yeah,
Which kind of made it funny for me, at least. But there's some cool clips on there where he's just waiting for Micah Richards to stop talking so he can tell him that he's talking absolute rubbish.
Oh, yeah,
you can tell he's like seething, like.
Yeah. Shearer's always been of that, even for penalty incidents that are even softer than that.
If there's ever a man who enjoys having the shackles taken off him when he's not on the BBC, it's Alan Shearer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. There was the clip of Lineker as well jumping in on Michael Richards, who was speaking to Jason Mohammed on BBC, live on BBC, and Gary Lineker just jumps in to not quite tell Michael to shut up, but to make sure he lets the world know that he disagrees with Michael and he thinks it's a penalty as well, as a striker too. So yeah, it was a nice little fallout. I mean, one last thing on our game. I know we didn't have this written down, but I feel like we have to bring it up. It's been very interesting to see the tides turn completely on the broadcasters as we near the end of the tournament.
I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
I thought I had written it down. I have written it down.
Oh, you have out there.
So let's do it. I like this.
Yeah, because we've been blessed for the both the Congo game and the Mexico game to be able to listen to Guy Mowbray and Alan Shearer commentate on the England game as we watch, whereas on Saturday night, we had to return to Sam Matterface and Lee Dixon for the first time since Panama. And the amount of fallout afterwards where people have been able to... I mean, BBC had Guy Mowbray and Alan Shearer on for the highlights, which is wonderful as well. It's not like ITV where they've gone down sort of the pecking order and not put one of their mainstream guys when they're not broadcasting it live. And it's night and day between the level of passion and verbiage that Guy Mowbray can get out for the big moments in the game, for full time, and the reaction compared to what Sam Matterface was delivering during the game, and the amount of people who have said now, knowing that England are on BBC again against Argentina, and then you'll have the choice of watching BBC or ITV on Sunday if we get there, that they're going to pick BBC again, even though right at the start of the tournament we were beating up ITV so massively in terms of how much better their sort of punditry was, their broadcasting, their studio. I know we were all still against their commentators at the same time, but to listen to Lee Dixon and Sam Matterface, I think apart from the Jed Spence penalty incidents where Lee Dixon not quite got to his level of the 0-0 that Cape Verde played out early on in the tournament with levels of excitement, but he does lose his professionalism slightly, where he does basically say go on as Jed Spence goes past Oscar Bob before he's brought down. So that was probably the only time where it sounded like those two were actually enjoying the game or giving something to the crowd, whereas most of the time it was the opposite, which I will say is a shame, because I think, thinking back to England-Netherlands back in 2024, I think Sam Matterface did okay that night. His commentary on the Watkins goal is
I mean, last minute is always going to help.
It is, yeah, but we still scored a goal in extra time. I know it was, as we mentioned, a save that was deflected into Bellingham's path, but he takes so long to even realise that what's happened before he says anything. It's so poor, which is, I mean, we've we're on episode sort of like 40 or sorry, nearly over 50 episodes in now, and this man keeps coming up, and he will keep coming up if ITV keep losing him as his flagship commentator.
Well,
And yeah,
on that note, because we missed him. Well, we couldn't hear him during the Brazil game. Do you want to hear the stupid thing he said
oh please,
at the end of that game?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm going to get this word for word because it's just ridiculous.
I know. We heard him his reaction after the fireworks from the national anthems, which he made a Stars and Stripes reference just because they were playing in America, even though the US had nothing.
Oh, are they in America? Are they? Oh,
yeah.
right.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers,
great.
Sam. Yeah,
Great observation. That. Again, it's the planned lines.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Good grief.
I think someone pointed it out after the Panama game that there was a clip of them doing commentary.
Yeah.
You could very clearly see him reading directly from his pre-prepared notes. Like, come on. Whereas Guy Mowbray is, all the clips I've seen at least, is very much just using his own emotion and reaction to the moments.
Right. Where are we? Okay, so Norway have beaten Brazil. Historic moment for them. They're in the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Matterface goes, Norway have etched themselves into Norse mythology.
Yes. I have heard you bring this up, yeah.
Mythology is, like, not real.
Yeah, the word myth in it might be a strong giveaway there, maybe.
And, like, just, like, that did actually happen. So, you can't just... because it's Norse, you can't just say Norse mythology, man.
Yeah, you
like,
can't just
come
pick
on.
and choose things from these nations to try and crowbar them in to make a funny sort of link. It's like, no.
Just say Norwegian folklore. Folklore's real.
Yeah, makes much more sense.
Like, it's not difficult. Also, he wouldn't. I'm not saying that I would have done a much better job, but it wouldn't have taken that much creativity to come up with that on the fly.
No, because you've just brought it out.
It's a historic moment, you know.
Yeah.
But Jesus, honestly, I'm so glad that came to my attention because I think he's got off lightly recently.
Yeah. No, we haven't spoken about him since the group stages, and for the rest of the coverage as well. Obviously, we didn't watch the sort of full-time analysis. Obviously, we were sadly kicked out of the pub as soon as the game finished. But from what I've seen, the people who were watching it were so frustrated that those in the studio spoke over Wonderwall. They didn't do anything else in terms of lifting it up. I know we spoke last week about how much I rewatched everything the BBC did after Mexico.
Who cares about that?
Oh, I forget you hate it. Yeah.
Who cares, man?
I mean, we sat here 20 minutes last week, sort of gushing over Joe Hart.
The thing about Wonderwall is, are we singing Wonderwall in the pub? No.
You're not that's not the point. No,
but like, we would want to join in. I'm saying, like, Sweet Caroline, as much as I don't like Sweet Caroline, I can see how it's a victory tune because it's upbeat and people join in and all the but, you know. You could, it's kind of, it lends itself to a group activity, right? The tune itself. Wonderwall's just dull. As with a lot of Oasis tunes, I would argue.
The meaning behind the song and the moment and the players.
What's the meaning behind the song?
You're my Wonderwall. You are going to be the one that saves me. Jude Bellingham saves us.
It's load of rubbish.
I know you don't do emotion in football. I know
That's a load of rubbish.
Not your sort of thing. But the main point was when the BBC let the moment play out on TV and speak for itself, whereas the ITV pundits didn't. They spoke over it, which is just extremely annoying because that moment.
I could see how people see that as blasphemous.
It's been such a big moment in this World Cup for England.
Yourselves.
It's been such an important part. It's like the emotion in their players' faces. It's grown and grown every single win. And
just stick Three Lions on, man. Why are we...
They do. At the end of the game, that's the first song they play. I'm just talking about the media here and their job. I'm not talking about the moment anymore.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the media and their job. Let the moment speak for itself. You don't need to hear about your analysis. You have a whole hour after the game finishes to talk about it. For the 30 seconds where the players and the fans are having their moment together,
I agree.
Embrace it, please.
I agree.
Well, that's you've wound me up like that on here for a long time.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
39 episodes in, we did it.
Shall we talk about Gabriel Clark before we kill each other?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Yeah.
I think we have to. Because I respect Gabriel Clark so much.
Yeah.
Great, interviewer, broadcaster. and I don't know what he's playing at.
Yeah.
It's like he lost the sense of meaning of words.
Hmm.
Um, Talking about why the players weren't at it, or why Thomas Tuchel wasn't happy with the performance, and then he talks about mentality, like mentality would be just like crumbling under pressure or something, and we just clearly, evidently didn't do that. It was
Hmm.
never a question of mentality, which is what Tuchel said to him. And I just thought that was just a wild direction to take it in.
Mm.
Um, and in defence of Gabriel Clark, because obviously Tuchel wasn't happy with the team, and then he asked Jude Bellingham. He told Jude Bellingham that he wasn't happy with the performance, and people are saying that he's trying to stir something up. And I'm like, well, if the manager's not happy, you kind of would ask the player about that. That seems kind of reasonable. Um, but people jumped on that, and I thought that was a bit harsh.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
but
in.
I think he maybe made a rod for his own back in asking silly questions to Tuchel in the first place.
Yeah, that's sort of what started it, isn't it? Yeah, he's sort of not quite set Tuchel off. Obviously, the game is the whole reason Tuchel went off and everything else. He's sectionist and wants to see a lot more than what he saw. But yeah, it's one of those where Clark is doing the job that he should do in terms of he's got something from Tuchel in terms of like a reaction, so he's going to then pass that on. But I think people are forgetting that Jude Bellingham's not going to be able to get the grasp of everything his manager said, so he's just going to go off of Gabriel Clark's word. And those who have sort of taken issue with Gabriel Clark there, I think, have gone far too far with it. Because if you think that Thomas Tuchel and Jude Bellingham's sort of mindset and egos are so fragile that that's going to cause an issue between the two of them, then why on earth would we be in a quarter final at this point? Like Jude Bellingham would have they will quash it immediately if there is any issue, which there definitely wouldn't have been because there's not a chance that either of them cared that much in the sense
Also, I'm
they gave it away.
sure they would know that Tuchel wasn't happy.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a second half thing, and they haven't had a chance to go over it. Like, he was clearly unhappy with how the whole game went.
Yeah.
Um,
He looked unhappy when Jed Spence closed the ball down in the last minute, even though he'd done his job. I'm not sure what his issue was with that movement of play, but
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think. Well, the risk is that he's gone all the way up there. If he doesn't block that ball,
Mhm.
then we're slightly exposed at
Yeah.
1-1.
Potentially, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's not like they're now not going to speak to each other between then and Wednesday. They would have, yeah, Tuchel would have made his feelings felt to the players. He's not going to use the media as the outlet to speak to his players.
Yeah.
He spoke his feelings, and Bellingham spoke his. And I know
But
people are
I also
painting.
think it's fair enough to try and get the players' reaction to that.
Yeah, yeah. I know a
Um,
lot of people are trying to paint Gabriel Clark as trying to get a gotcha moment. I know Simon Jordan and Jim White nearly killed each other on Talksport over this the other day, where they're obviously so much against each other in the thinking behind this. But I don't think that is what Gabriel Clark's trying to do. He is just basically passing on what he's just been told by the
yeah,
manager. It's so he wants the nation who have seen that interview from Tuchel will want to know what Jude Bellingham would feel about that. He's not trying to stir anything up. It's exactly what Tuchel said, and he's just feeding it back to them.
yeah. And then what happened after that was, so Jude Bellingham just responds with like whatever,
Mhm.
and then media outlets run with that, and it says, "Oh, Jude Bellingham says whatever," and then that sounds like he's responding to Tuchel
Mhm.
in a sort of like a sort of like he's a it's so stupid. It's like he's a schoolboy that's done bad or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, no, he
he's
doesn't care type
yeah, and
yeah.
but in reality, he's just trying to like just block off the journalist's question there and then. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
care about the question itself.
No,
Whereas it looked like a direct response to Tuchel, and
yeah.
then that stokes the fires even more in terms of how people perceive that. And they
Mhm.
think, oh, the journalist's being a prick for asking the question. Like, no, it's a perfectly normal question in circumstances.
Yeah, I
So
think that's a long
I'm,
short, isn't
I'm,
it?
I'm, I don't know why he started asking about mentality,
Mm.
um, especially given the answers that Tuchel was giving him beforehand. But then after that, I just thought, well, that's kind of fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a lot of
But that kind of thing is going to be overblown, especially when obviously we've won, we're in a good moment, we want to sort of harness this good feeling, we want to keep it going until Wednesday,
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. And then, like, the moment the people watching it will be like, the moment we've won, and the journalist is trying to, punch down on us, but that's just not what happened.
No, yeah, that it was the reaction from both the manager and the player, and I think it comes from a sort of panic as well that we're getting further and further into this tournament. The nerves starts kicking a bit more, so anything that's not seen as 100% harmony and happiness in the camp is going to be overblown because people are worried that the smallest thing now is just going to tip the tide. Whereas I don't think that is the case at all. It's just, again, just everyone needs to calm it down a little bit. I don't think that we're now on the Tuesday now. I don't think anyone has even thought about that since maybe
No.
Monday morning. But yeah, it is a ridiculousness, and it won't affect anything that happens in the game against Argentina whatsoever.
Oh, I, 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 there's a part of me that doesn't want to put myself through that again.
No, well,
Just another match. Oh,
yeah. See, I think I'm at the point now where I'm seeing some. I mean, both sides of the coin are being very vocal in terms of those who are terrified of the game and those who are very much of the thinking, and the thinking that I am of is that this is the game that Tuchel's bought in for. This is what this squad has been
yeah.
built to do, to go toe to toe with a team like Argentina, who have some of the best players in the world and are going to want to attack us, which is sort of calming me down in a sense. Of course, with how we played and how Argentina have played, and it's a semi-final, anything can happen. You have every right to be worried and scared of it, but I think I'm a little more relaxed than at this moment in time than maybe I should be.
I,
But
I think if you could pick any of the other three semi-finalists to play Argentina.
yeah, yeah, obviously,
So
yeah.
there's
France are
that.
terrifying in terms of attack. Spain are defensive minded and not really who we want to face. So yeah, Argentina have shown so many cracks over this tournament. We've like if they can concede goals against some of the worst teams in the tournament, then
Hey, put some respect on Cape Verde's name. Thank you
it is,
very
yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah, of course.
Oh, you mean Jordan? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's exactly who I was thinking of. But yeah, no, up against someone like Jude Bellingham, who is scoring for fun at the moment, and
Yeah, yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Kane, who can wake up again after I don't want to say not doing much against Norway, but who has shown in this tournament he's still in unbelievable form. We get a chance against their defence, which includes two fullbacks who are not that good, and their
And
centre back.
Nicolas Otamendi.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, coming off the bench. I couldn't believe the other day when I saw that he was still in the squad. Like, I just assumed 2018 was when he retired, but no, he is still kicking about as their option. And Martinez has shown that he is easily manipulatable for attackers and to get in
I was gonna
behind.
say he's so much better like at the other end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's
Which is not what you want as a
right.
defender.
I know Romero will be the one who's put on Harry Kane, but if
He's
there's ever a
he's
moment.
another one who's better at the other end.
Yeah, yeah, this is the FA scoring all their goals. But yeah, if there's ever a moment where Harry Kane can peel off Romero and beat Martinez to a header, he will beat him 9 times out of
I
10.
will
So
not have a Spurs player ruining our fun again. Like I'm not having that.
no, fair, yeah,
I
but
think oh you've changed my mind. I'm suddenly weirdly confident about this
I mean,
game now.
there's the midfield as well. Rodrigo De Paul plays for Inter Miami, for goodness' sake. Like, there's
So does Messi.
yeah, yeah, of
I
course, but
know he's Messi, but
he is in his late 30s, whereas Rodrigo De Paul is meant to be the prime of his career, and he's already
well then
moving
he
up.
should be better than Messi.
Yeah, he should.
Oh,
No,
so
not the
I've
point.
out logicked myself.
The point I'm making is that if your starting midfielder is at prime age and is already playing in the MLS, then he's clearly not he's clearly there to be got at. So,
Fair.
and as a Chelsea fan and watching Enzo Fernandez this tournament, he's someone else who has looked so off it. Like again, Jude Bellingham should be hopefully having a field day. Elliot Anderson, if he plays anything like he played against Norway, will have those two on toast. It's just how we set up to deal with Messi, and of course with Alvarez going through on the other side is going to be the key there.
Oh, can I just oh Argentine players are absolutely weird, right?
Mm.
There was a weird quote from Julian Alvarez going, "Oh,
Yeah.
I hope we can win the World Cup for Messi again." What the fuck are you talking about? Win it for yourself, bro.
Mm. Yeah,
Like,
especially it's not like he's
Messi's the best player in the world. He should have 4 World Cups already. Like, why is it for him?
yeah, no,
He should be doing you a favour, not the other way around. He should be
yeah.
winning it for you, you peasant. You're crap at football,
Oh.
relatively speaking. Do you know? Do you know? No, do you know what I mean? It's like the wrong way round.
Yeah, no, it's the pedestals that some of these players get put on in South
It's so
America
weird.
is really weird, and obviously we will. It's very much the opposite of what we do in England. So yeah, no, I can understand why that does sound so
Oh
strange.
God. Oh my God. I would actually be sick if Elliot Anderson like just went to the media and go, "Yeah, we're gonna win it for Jude Bellingham." Oh God, just
Well,
get out.
I mean, Harry Kane would be the obvious scenario there because it'd be his final World Cup of everything else. But yeah, no, yeah, it would be
Oh
ridiculous.
God.
Yeah, Elliot
And that's
Anderson.
another reason why they must be defeated
Well,
tomorrow.
it has reminded me of other things I've seen this week. I am no South American expert in history. I'm not the person to be making these points, but I've seen the chant against the French team has resurfaced in their crowd recently. The one that Enzo Fernandez filmed on the bus.
Oh,
There's a footage of them
I
singing that
mean,
again, and Speed got racially abused by Argentinian fans as well when he was at their games. And as annoying as Speed is, no matter what happens, that is unacceptable. So Argentinians' history with people from Africa and everything else, it's no, as I said already, I'm no expert in that, so I'm not going to try and explain that to anyone with my limited knowledge. But it's another reason for us to please go and beat Argentina. And everything that's all the Falklands have been brought up as well again this week. So let's make sure that's
yes, Jeremy Clarkson thought, oh, I can write a banging tweet about this.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, it's very
Not like they have
funny.
a far right government or anything that they will jump on any reason to try and start wars, of course, and everything else. So yeah, no, it's there's a lot of reasons to not like Argentina, and hopefully we can turn up on Wednesday night and be 3 as we said before Norway game, be comfortably win it in 90 minutes, be 3-0 up, just destroy them. Don't rest on your laurels.
Well, we can live in hope. Um, until the whistle goes, and then we just
Oh yeah, no, I'll be right with you 5 minutes before kick-off. I'm terrified.
yeah.
As I've said for every round of this game, until the actual moment comes, I am able to look on the positive side. So we'll wait and see.
Uh, I can't wait anymore.
No,
I mean, how do you think France Spain is going to go? Just
yeah, that one's
quickly.
going to be very interesting. I think Spain are another team that because they've been so underwhelming in terms of a neutral to watch. I've not gone out of my way to watch their games as in depth as maybe I should have done, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with the French attack in terms of how well they've dealt with almost every other attack, and then Lamine Yamal up against Luca Dean. Oof, that's gonna be unbelievable to watch. In my opinion, that's gonna be something where he can be exposed to who he is, because the France team are another one on paper where they have gaps and Spain have the quality to go forward. And I know I'm jumping ahead here in terms of thinking, oh, we'll beat Argentina, but I don't know who out of those two I'd rather face. France,
I,
France
I,
terrify me, and Spain will set up in a way that we don't want to play against. So it's
yeah, I think I'd rather play Spain.
yeah. I think if it's got based on fear entirely, then yeah, I think
I
Spain are
think,
the
I
more.
think that ultimately, I'd rather play the least scary attack,
That's it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
which is very clearly Spain,
Mm.
and leave the goal scoring to Harry Kane, which is, not a bad guy to leave it to.
No.
So, um, uh, uh, I mean, Belgium showed that they can be got at,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, with all due respect, they're Belgium.
Mm.
They don't have a Harry Kane.
No,
They
yeah.
have
They
a
had the Catalan going forward, and
they
yeah,
have a
whatever else.
yeah, De Ketelaere, who's he's not bad.
No,
He's
no.
he's like a he's like a Havertz light.
Yeah. He's
I
very
like
much
to think,
not dubbed one of the best strikers in the world. So
and just a very off colour Lukaku. He's just
yeah.
he's not at
Lukaku,
it for obvious reasons because
yeah,
he's
he's not been fit for
barely
18.
played for Napoli, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think I can see us finding a way through them rather than France, who are just frightening in all
Yeah.
senses of the word.
Yeah, there's plenty of narratives for either game, which is yeah, good. It's
But let's get there first, eh?
exactly yeah. One thing I have been wonderfully reminded of this week as we go to play against Argentina is something that either I didn't know that happened or somehow completely slipped my memory, but I've really enjoyed looking back at clips from the 2005 friendly between England and Argentina.
Yeah.
I don't know how that hasn't stayed in my mind.
It's the best friendly of all
Oh
time.
yeah, I mean, I've played out as a final. That the final 10 minutes of that game alone is just insane. And John Motson on comms just losing his
Yeah, yeah,
mind
yeah.
when he
He
thinks
goes for
Beckham
it.
won it before Argentina go up the other end, and then of course Owen does go on to win it. But to have that be the last time we played each other is insane. And the fact that Messi could have played in that game had he not been sent off in his debut, which means there's this other narrative of Messi's playing against England for the first time ever.
That's not a narrative. Come on, man.
Well, it's a narrative
Who
because the media are making
cares?
it a narrative. The media are making it a
Who
narrative.
cares?
Me, that's why I said it. Leave me alone.
Oh, before we also go there, I've got to have my say on this because I won't be able to say it in any other time. The amount of people who didn't know that the Jason Cundy thing that has anyone seen was based on a Norwegian commentator. The amount of people who did not know that has heavily disheartened me.
I mean, but myself included till
Ah,
last
man,
week, which
like,
you
come
rightfully
on,
shamed me for.
guys.
Yeah, as someone who works in the media and knows Jason Kennedy quite well, I should have known that, and I did
You
not.
thought he came up with that?
No, it was more I didn't know
Did it
what
not
he was
occur to you
referencing.
he might be taking the piss out of someone while he was
I'm
doing that?
afraid I hadn't heard the commentary from us v Norway from the 80s. I'm afraid it hadn't crossed my path. No, it was
Ah.
more me not knowing what he was referencing to rather than him coming
And
up.
it's not even the fact that, okay, yeah, sure, some people aren't going to know. And you'll know that I've been slightly triggered by this throughout the tournament. But, like, people tweeting about this, like, showing that they just didn't know, and then getting a viral tweet out of it.
Mm.
Like, I knew it. Where's my likes for knowing what that was? Not that you would like it, because it's not, that's not the point. I've gone off on a tangent. But just like, why are we? Why is everybody just like knowing this? I don't know.
I
For me, that was part of Norwegian mythology. I mean, folklore.
think very good. Very.
And I just thought like it's a very famous thing, and and I don't know. I hope it hasn't ruined the vibe of it because I want it to continue.
No, and it will. It will. Don't you worry. I mean, I had one typed out after we'd finished the Norway game. I'm very glad I didn't actually post it because who cares? But yeah, it was. I think the fact that Norwegian football has sort of taken a back seat from that time.
Yeah.
The masses haven't been exposed to that happening since
And we
then.
haven't had a chance to relive it because we haven't
Exactly.
played them
Yeah.
in an important
It's
game. I
it's
think we've had
it's happened.
friendlies. I think we had a pre-Euro 2012 friendly,
Yeah. Which is
and
obviously
then that was
14
it.
years ago at this
Have we
point.
played them
So,
since then? I
yeah.
don't think we had.
No.
And their team is chalk and cheese.
Yeah. No.
So much better, and obviously, you know, beating Brazil and stuff,
Yeah. Exactly.
and then beating us for 7 whole minutes.
Yeah.
But you know,
Mm.
has anyone seen Alfie Haaland?
No. Or Sigrid, or Jan Fjortoft. No, not seen any of them.
Okay, I did enjoy Alfie Haaland's just response to
Yeah.
Spence stuff,
Well
swearing
done,
at
and the rest.
swearing at the camera.
Yeah. Well done, and the referee. Yeah. There's no better at all, Alfie. No, the referee
Oh man.
who got everything wrong on the pitch in VAR actually helped you. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I think we're just sort of freestyle moaning at the moment now,
Yeah.
just doing anything and everything, which is part of the stress of a World Cup semi-final, I would
Of
argue.
course, yeah, you do sort of lose all sort of structure in your brain when these sort of things happen. Logic
Yeah.
does disappear, and I mean, next time we speak, we'll know who are the World Cup champions, which is insane to think about. This has been a long
God.
4 weeks, but
Oh God.
yes, yeah,
I mean, unless you want to do this on Friday.
Well, it'll depend on how knackered I am from Wednesday night.
I think if we don't win, I probably won't want to talk to anybody
No,
for
no.
about a month.
Yeah. The World Cup final won't even happen. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
either way, England will play two more games. Not that I will tune into the third place playoff, as I didn't
No,
watch.
I think I'll treat it like I did in 18.
Yeah, neither of us watched
And
that Belgian game, so yeah, I will not be bothered about that, sadly. But yeah, no, it's either way. This could be a massive week for England, and I'm hoping and praying that we get the moments. We get a joyful Wednesday night, and then Sunday we can the entire nation. I just want to
hey,
see.
look,
I want to
win
see
or
what it'd be
lose
like.
Sunday, man. Like World Cup finals, just ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
I just want to see how the nation responds to England being in that, because of course we've seen how we respond to being in Euros finals. I think the
oh
World
yeah,
Cup will be a completely different animal, and
I agree.
it's gonna be insane. So.
I
But
agree.
hopefully everyone listening is able to enjoy this week as much as we want to as well, and hopefully we bring it home.
Hopefully we do. And on that note, thanks everyone for listening. To all the droning that we've been doing, but I think we're all at it at the moment. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy Wednesday, if you can. I can't even speak anymore. Yes, enjoy Wednesday as much as you can, and hopefully we'll have a great Sunday to enjoy too. So we will reconvene once it's all over. So we'll see you on the other side. Happy hate watching, and we'll see you soon.
Devil to Campbell, Campbell to Rio, Rio to
End the
Skull.
show. End the show.
Gerard to Beckham,
Oh,
Beckham to Heskey, Heskey to Owen, no one to not 5-1. You're welcome. Some of the crowd are on the pitch.